Welcome to CFC Fan TV. The nightmare of Old Trafford is now firmly behind us and we are focused on an FA Cup semi-final against, well, our dearest rivals really. How are you feeling about it?
Doesn't get bigger than this, does it?
No, this is it. This is the zenith of football, playing Tottenham in an FA Cup semi-final at Wembley with the prize of a trophy nearly at stake whilst we're competing with them at the top of the Premier League. This is it. This is the point.
It's nervy, isn't it?
I know, it's really worrying. It's really worrying because they're good.
They've been fantastic over the past couple of weeks. There's no getting away from that. So I say a couple of weeks, a couple of months really. Being in the office this week, every neutral can't wait for this game. They're so excited about seeing by far the two best teams in the country go at it, and on the biggest stage. But it's, for me, I've sort of been really nervous about it.
I'm really nervous about it. You're right. This game certainly eclipses the other semi-final. Like Arsenal versus Manchester City should be a huge game, but it's almost an also Rand's playoff, isn't it? Like that one.
Well, it is. I mean, the two clubs aren't rivals, and there's obviously that huge thing with Chelsea and Tottenham there, and frankly, the sides aren't as nearly as in form as Chelsea and Spurs are. Whether you agree that Chelsea are banging form,
no,
like, we're clearly not.
Yeah, it's not as ideal. But do you know what, Charlie? Actually, that's the way that I kind of, you know, you guys who watch this channel regularly know how these previews go. We kind of have a bit of a format that we stick to, and we hope that you like that. I think this one's going to be a bit different because it's more of a conversation. So please get involved. If you're watching, comment below and let us know exactly how you feel about this one, because this one is all about emotion, isn't it? There's so much at stake here. There's so much. You know, it's like as much as everything else. As much as winning a trophy would be fantastic and a potential double, it's local bragging rights. It's our biggest rivals, I think.
The thing is, for me, it's the one rivalry that the players get really into as well. You could see it about 10 years ago with the Chelsea-Liverpool games when that rivalry was really, really bitter.
Yes.
And you hear from like Gerrard and Carragher and Terry and Lampard now, those two sets of players hated each other.
Yeah.
And I think that's pretty much the same
with Chelsea
and Tottenham. And you saw that, you know, when we stopped them, when we put them out of contention of the title race last year.
Yeah.
And I think you've seen that in the games so far this year. But it's almost impossible to talk about because it's, you know, worst cliche in the world, but form really does go out the window.
Good.
Yeah, which is a good thing. And to be honest, the one thing that you'd have to say is that we've always had that hoodoo over them, especially at Wembley. They've played at Wembley this year a lot. They've not done well.
You say that though, Charlie, but I think you're revealing your age slightly there. Because you're coming of a generation similar to me, where, you know, I can still remember.
Twitter, by the way.
But I can still remember people talking, you know, 3-point lane. It was referred to. But we haven't won at White Hart Lane for a long time now.
No, we haven't.
Gary Cahill's year, that 2012 year when we last won there.
God, that was a long time.
I think it was a very long time ago, and I think that's the only win in a decade.
Yeah,
so it has changed a bit.
They hold that dear as we hold our sort of 27-year run at Stamford Bridge. It has, but I just think at Wembley in such a big game, I do feel like psychologically we have the edge, even though how many games have they won on the trot now? 7 or 8?
They've won 7 on the spin. I mean,
our defence, I feel, is a worry. We're currently on our worst run without a clean sheet in 20 years.
In fact, in a similar vein to that, in our game against Manchester United last Sunday, we actually didn't have a single shot on target, and that's the first time that's happened in nearly a decade. Not ideal form to be going into a game against Tottenham, is it?
No, should we talk about something else?
Yes, definitely, anything.
Go on.
I don't know, it's just really troubling me. When you consider our form, and then you look at the brilliance in their side, particularly, you know, Harry Kane's back on form, back in the team, scoring goals. But the one who troubles me is Dele Alli.
Well, look, you know, he absolutely crucified us at White Hart Lane, didn't he? Their game plan was very, very specific. You had Azpilicueta and Moses on that hand side, on that right hand side. Neither of them the tallest players in the world, clearly, and they targeted that side in the air, and a lot of teams have done that. That being said, I want that to be the team. I want the back three as it was. I thought that was an absolute nightmare playing with Kurt Zouma.
In a 3, he's not cut out for it, is he?
I mean, I'll be honest, I've got slapped for this in the past. I've never been a huge fan of his. I think he's too technically limited as a footballer. Very sad to see him get injured like that. But certainly, I want Azpilicueta playing where he's excelled all season.
Yeah, I think that we should have probably put Nathan Ake in and kept everything else the same at the back.
Yeah, well, look, I mean, I put this on Twitter. You can't have a situation where just because Marcos Alonso isn't fit and he was ill, by the way, it throws the whole rest of the team out of kilter. It's a ridiculous situation to be in. So
get the back line sorted.
and that maximises our chances, because that team went on a winning run. That's the team that beat Tottenham in November or whenever it was. And obviously we've got to hope that Alonso's back. It's an interesting story that came out after that, by the way. So Alonso was ill. Actually come out that Costa and Moses were suffering from the same bug.
Right.
And anyone who watched both of their performances will find that interesting in hindsight. Alonso wanted to play, but literally wasn't able to. It was ill in the warm-up.
It's interesting, isn't it? Considering how much stick Marcos Alonso has got from fans. Never me. I think he's been brilliant. But he gets a lot of stick, particularly on Twitter. I see people quoting him off. It's interesting that we then miss him, and it throws our defence completely out of kilter.
You don't
know what you've got till it's gone, do you?
He's a threat in the air. If you watch the team play, he's always the outball for Courtois on that side. He's an attacking threat.
Got a good eye for a goal.
He's got a goal in him, exactly.
Do you know what I'd like to see? I was talking to my friend about this at the gym this morning, and I'd like to see.
You're looking good, by the way.
That
was just like
I was there for a sauna.
Yeah.
But do you know what I would like to see in the midfield, because I think that they're so powerful. when Yama, Dembele.
Yeah.
I'd like to see us play both Matic and Kante, but then also Fabregas.
Yeah,
I think the three should play there, because I think that we need.
I think that's a shout.
Because also they're going to be pressing. You need Fabregas' creativity to pop one over the top for Costa to run onto it and hopefully score a goal, but also relieve pressure from the back.
Absolutely, look, I completely agree with you. You could see what Man United did on Sunday. It was very, very blatant. They had Herrera niggling away. They had Fellaini absolutely dominating the midfield. Matic, unfortunately, was nowhere to be seen. And Kante probably didn't have the best game of his life, but was trying to do it all on his own.
I'd play those three, and then I'd play two up front, and then Hazard and Costa up front. That'd be my... if you're watching that, Tony?
I'd be tempted to drop Costa.
No way.
I'd be tempted to play Hazard
up top. No. You don't drop Costa going into a game like this. No way.
But he's been so poor.
He hasn't. He hasn't been on good form.
We're saying so to go and get it.
That's definitely true. He hasn't been on good form. But you certainly don't drop the player who... Remember how good he was in our run where we went 11 games on winning? It was his goals that really carried us there. It was his winner against West Brom, his winner against Palace, him leading the line.
I know. I agree with what you're saying, and I know...
Tell him he's an idiot. that can't be a thing. If you're watching, who do you agree with here? Please tell us. Do you agree with me and Costa starts, undoubtedly, or do you agree with idiocy here and think that we drop Costa? There's only one answer here, surely.
Look, I'm tempted to agree with you because I know he's always got a goal in him, but I just think he has been so poor recently. He's been starter service, and that's an issue that hopefully Fabregas would resolve, because Hazard can't really do it all on his own. But I'll be honest, it's like we've been playing with 10 men.
Yeah, you've heard it here first. Make sure you comment below, let us know exactly what you think. I'm really going to be checking them because I really do want to hear your thoughts on that one. And if you haven't subscribed, please do it right now. Come on.